It's the beginning of another weekend. Welcome to the show. I am Tokwe Mark Odige, and as usual, I have the ladies with me. Yesterday's show was off the hook.
Okay.
I watched again online, and Valentine's Day was special, but I know you guys were boring. Kike, please tell me you did something interesting yesterday.
Oh, yes. I had my friends and I, and the children, we went out yesterday, we had fun.
So you're part of those causing traffic.
Yes, the island was crazy yesterday, and we got back home, I think, around after 11.
Whoa!
Yeah, so we're just dancing. I was like, please don't let us leave the club, because really, I think that this will be my 5th time going to the club. So anytime I go there, I'm always like, oh, this is a new world. The only thing I don't like is the cigarettes and the lights and all of that. So I couldn't wear the wig I wore yesterday because of the smell. So yesterday was
I'm really
nice.
happy because for me, Mariam, I saw the cake. So you guys gave your kids Valentine's.
Yeah, you know,
like,
I said so.
So when I say that you're Onyibo, you now say you're not Onyibo.
But you know, it was good. It was even good we did that because my son now asked about why are we celebrating Valentine's? Who is Valentine's? So so we talked about Saint Valentine's and what he did for the Christians then, so they understand. So they decided to look for St. Foge's Day and St. Ima's Day.
Oh, that's so sweet. You see, I need to,
that's nice.
teachable moments.
Yeah.
Nima, you fought, you raked, you are now looking like one angel in this your dress.
I'm an angel. I actually feel like my wedding day is happening again.
Oh, she looks so beautiful.
I did mention on the show that I've been the cancer ambassador for, awareness ambassador for the month of February for the Dorcas Cancer Foundation. And today is the World International Day for childhood cancer. So I'm the ambassador for awareness for the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month of February for the foundation. And so my post for this month entirely
I've
on
noticed,
my wall
you've been talking about cancer.
In fact, they made me start studying. There are certain cancers that are very peculiar to children that I learned about.
Yeah.
Because I started studying.
And
you know, it gives me, you know, I'm a reflective person. It just gives me that soberness. And
but it also makes you grateful.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you are alive, your children are alive. This
Not just that, it makes me aware of other people's plight. So, you know, when you see children sometimes that are going through this,
especially female children. I was told that at the age of 10, female children, they have to get some vaccines.
Okay. Is it the
HPV?
HPV
No, that's for the HPV, the
HPV
cervical cancer.
Yeah, that they have to get
for female.
One of the highlights of my Valentine's Day. So on Wednesday, I came here and I was announcing how I want, you know, moist chocolate cake, and I wanted the cake to be creamy and delicious. Now, I didn't get anyone come and give me cake, but you see the way God arranges my life. I'm so favored. Cream slices gave us a lovely, like the cake. I binged on it. I thought I took it for my kids.
Chocolate.
My sweetheart. My kids got like tiny bits of the cake. I was eating and
very
eating.
obsessed with cake.
And it was creamy, yummy. Oh, cream slices. God bless you for helping me to satisfy the craving. It was really, really
Before
nice.
we go, I just want to.
I don't see my daughter in Tokwe's face. The way she does her cake. The way she goes into it.
Over the week, my daughter hasn't been feeling well. And then, you know, I also mentioned to the ladies to help me with the doctor. She has this recurring tonsillitis and her adenoids get inflamed and it affects her breathing and her sleeping and things like that. So Nima was kind enough to give me a doctor's contact, Dr. Adikoke. Thank you so much. He couldn't see me, but he asked, but I asked Dr. Abimbola of the Gwagada General Hospital. Fantastic lady. Thank you so much. You know when a mother is a doctor, the kind of drugs she will give you will help.
The compassion.
So my child takes her medicine, she's not throwing up. So thank you so much for being so kind, everyone.
Special thanks to all our doctors. Honestly, those guys do a whole lot, especially for those that work in general hospitals. We need to keep on praising and applauding them because it's a labor of love.
Yeah,
it's a labor of love. Yeah. Well, when we return, we review the news headlines. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So, front page review, we start off with the Punch, as usual. Major headline. Polls, federal government shuts borders as police restrict vehicular movement. Hoodlums in military uniforms attack INEC vehicles. Flight tickets purchased by politician family expatriates rises as polls near. Tax defaulters, FIRS contravening tax laws, says KPMG. Lagos landlords demand compensation for demolished properties. And Ekiti seals off radio station allegedly owned by Fayose. So we're going with the human interest story. We can't discuss politics.
Yeah, so, so property owners along the Oshodi-Apapa Expressway in December had been sent a letter from the Lagos State government saying that their properties were along that road and they were trying to expand the airport road. And they were also promised compensation, but they said that since January when their properties were demolished, they haven't received any compensation yet, and they do not have enough money to, refurbish what has been demolished. And it's affecting their businesses, their source of income, and so they're asking the governor to look into it. So and then, there's another quite interesting one which says that there has been an increase in tickets, international flights for politicians and expatriates and families of politicians and expatriates. Yes, and the airport source says that this is not a new thing, that this happens every election period. They buy these tickets sometimes and just keep, they are flying out during this period. That sometimes they are still in the country, but in safe places, so.
We got protected of us that we don't have tickets and how to Moving on to the nation, major headline. We can't take that because it's very political, but we will discuss Fayose's radio station shut and suspended ASU chair opens can of worms. So,
did you get that story, Maria?
Yes, I did.
Let's take the Fayose story.
Okay. Yeah, so we're told that Fayose's, I believe that according to the story that he owns a radio station called Our People's FM 104.1, and that they've not complied to the building requirement. Did they get approval for the radio station? And I think last year the radio station was seized by EFCC, but later on they were also told to pay 985,000 naira, and they are yet to pay. So right now we don't know what's going on, but the current governor have.
So let me join Kike on this story, because I noticed something particular when I read it, that the PS of the ministry in question personally faced off with the GM of the radio station when they went to seal it off. I know a PS is very high. So
why would the PS go to the sealing off, Abby?
Yeah. So it's almost like a political
I'm sure you would hear more.
Knowing the history between the two governors in the past, I would want to implore
the Queen
patience.
The queen of reading meaning to everything.
On a radio station, I think that it is important for you.
Comply.
Okay. Let's discuss the ASU story. Yes. So if there's a story there, if there was a breach of the laws and building regulations, you should deal with it. Yeah. So ASU chair.
Yeah. So yesterday we read the story of the ASU chairman in Edo State chapter that has been accused. Yes. Ambrose Ali has been accused of sexual harassment. So he's coming out to say that this is done because the ASU is questioning the VC on a lot of things. He said, first of all, he moved his wife from being just a, sorry, I forget exactly what she used to be, the wife of the VC. She was moved from, I think he said, typist to lecturer 1 without PhD or any master's degree. She's not a PhD holder, neither is she any form of master's degree holder. So that was one of the things that they're calling the VC out on. They're also calling him on the mismanagement of the funds from TED Fund and Needs.
So this is, I mentioned yesterday that the man said that the case against him, the sexual abuse case against him was a witch hunt because he had things he had to say concerning the VC. Yeah,
but the spokesperson for the school is saying that, well, he may have other issues, but this sexual harassment thing was brought by the family of the victim.
So let's deal with all the issues.
All the issues. The one that concerns ICPC and EFCC
deal with it.
Should quickly get in touch with the VC and investigate all that. Whether he has abused his office to promote his wife, he should be investigated. But if you have committed sexual assault
he should also be
investigated.
Fantastic. Moving on to the New Telegraph. 24 hours to the presidential election, militants rig polls and will bomb pipelines. CDS, politicians plotting to use firearms and fake uniforms. Police arrest 2 with 14 sacks of specimen ballot papers. Federal government closes borders until Sunday. Buhari, no threat to foreign observers and voters. Sleep could fight infections. So now, what story are we taking?
I don't have any story in Telegraph.
Should we take the sleep could fight
yes,
infection? So yeah, German scientists are saying that sleep helps to build your immune system and helps your immune system fight diseases better. So it's important that you get enough sleep. I mean, we hear this all the time. We talk about how sleep is important for anything. I mean, sometimes when you're ill, you want to sleep, and when you do sleep, you feel a lot better.
It makes you feel better.
Yeah, but when we write them in papers and everything, is it that we're just rediscovering it, or we don't appreciate it enough?
I don't think we as individuals take time to rest.
Yes,
it is rare for you to find people to say, okay, if we're asking that, what are you doing for the weekend? Hardly will you find people to say, I'm just going to be indoors and I will be resting. People don't take time to rest, and they don't know what that rest does to your body.
I guide my sleep time diligently, like, you know, it's 9 to 5. And though I might be on the bed till 10, but that 9 to 5, I'm ready to sleep. And I think we must take time to recoup.
Yeah.
Lagos traffic is too stressful. You can't let that.
Only traffic.
Life is stressful. Right. Moving on to the Vanguard, major headline: Go vote without fear. Buhari charges Nigerians, promises free and fair elections. Don't be partisan. Acting CJN warns election tribunal. 91 million Nigerians now live in extreme poverty. World Poverty Clock. Attacks on Borno governor's convoy. ISIS claims responsibility. And so what story are we taking?
The 91 million, of course. So this group called the World Poverty Clock, a Vienna-based data lab, has said that Nigeria is now leading with 91 million Nigerians living in extreme poverty. Nigerians are now leading. And because India used to lead us, but they've been able to get over 24 million people out of poverty, even though they have a large, I think their population is about 1.6 billion. They have a larger population than ours, but they've put in all the measures to change that narrative, and they've been able to get 24 million of their people out of that poverty belt. But we are, you know, instead growing from 81.6 million. Now we are 91.16 million people living in extreme poverty.
Well, you know, we had
the factors are, of course, you know, easy to find because we're fighting terrorism. More people are getting displaced. Yeah. So that an estimation, because I don't want to believe that they took votes, they counted. Of course, they are estimating based on certain factors. That, you know, this is how we keep growing.
But this is so, you know, it weighs down on my heart because, you know, we can stay in Lagos and think that everything is good. But if you just take our time to look, people are actually not even having food to eat. It's that bad. So can we be more loving and caring and sharing what we have?
In that Valentine that people are doing now, that's where you should do it, not in
Moving on to the last paper for today, The Guardian. Election, not war, US tells Nigerians. ISIS claims responsibility for attack on Shetima's convoy. Nigerian universities blunted competitive edge and global tertiary institution. As Nigerians decide, police allays fear of raid in Lagos. So I'm happy that the police is picking up. They've done their deployments. They've said that there will be no violence. They've also told us that the police officers by the polling units will not carry guns, so there should be no fear of voters' violence. Voters' intimidation shouldn't happen, so people can step out and vote. And I'm impressed with this story so far.
And I'm also glad that they are able to deploy other commissioners, because sometimes I feel that these commissioners they attach emotions to some certain states. Exactly. So if you go to another state, do you understand? You might want to do your due diligence and focus on your work.
Fantastic. Yeah. On that note, we end Front Page Review for today. Next, we discuss the newly unveiled TVC News Studios. Have you seen it? There is nothing like it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. TVC News, a member of TVC Communications, on Wednesday unveiled a new high-technology news studio and facilities to increase reach and be the first in breaking news. Joining us to enlighten us more is the senior news anchor TVC, Mike Ukwoche. Yay! Welcome to the show.
No, it's always nice to be amongst the ladies.
We've had
when I sit to watch you guys, I'll be like, wow. The ladies is always good when you bring up these issues.
You're
and then
always with a lady, though.
Yeah, I'm always with a lady. But you know, being with 3, 4 ladies, no, it's wonderful. It's a different vibe altogether. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I feel like an African man. It's good.
To join the conversation, please call us on 070-8066-8014, or you could tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourViewTVC, so we can hear from you. Now, that is, when I saw we've been coming here, we saw the construction, we saw the change, and when the unveiling took place, I'm like, whoa. We used to be like, wow, fantastic, we have a good studio before, but now we're taking it to the next level. Why would you do that? Why has TVC invested so much money into facility and technology?
Yeah, very good question. This idea and concept came from seeing what Nigerians want. You know, Nigerians, they have high appetite for good things.
Luxury.
You know, so if you go to an average Nigerian home, when they talk about watching international channels, international stations, we know what they look out for. We know the look and feel. So since 2017, about 2 years ago, when they had to change the brand from the old CBS to TVC Communication, they had the dream. The reform agenda was to see how they can invest heavily into technology, bring Nigerian media to that level where when you're watching, when you're flipping the channels, there won't be a difference between what you're watching from New York or from London and then what you have here in Nigeria. So the idea is about the appetite of what Nigerians...
This even looks better, I must say. Yeah. This actually looks better. Yeah. If I'm flipping through international stations and I flip to what you have, what we have now.
What we have now, yeah.
To what we have now, it is by far even better. But you also changed your tagline to First with breaking news. And Kike was discussing with me about it. What was your...
Yeah, I think, first of all, you've spoken about the look and feel. Now, let's go to content. Yeah. Yes, congratulations on the new TV, the new studio. But I feel that when you are using the slogan, being the first to break the news, are you going to be the first to
break the news?
1. 2, when other TV stations, right, air the news, if TVC is the first to break the news, would there be a referral to TVC that TVC is the first to break the news?
Well, what other stations do is not necessarily what we are concerned with.
Okay.
We are concerned with what dream we have and where we're going.
Okay.
Now, being the first with breaking news, that slogan is actually challenging. But when we beat our chest to say, okay, we want to be the first with breaking news, it's not in pride. It is in determination. Now, TVC is the only television channel with reporters in every state in this country.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
The only TV channel. And that is also not in bragging, but it's in telling you that we are determined to cover every part of Nigeria. So we're challenging ourselves. Yeah. So we are not saying this in relationship to what others are going to do or what others are doing in that sense. So we want to see how we can tell the story on the streets in Maiduguri, tell the story on the streets in Sokoto or in Akwa Ibom or in Benue.
Anything breaks, you would have the facts.
If anything breaks,
that's the thing.
We throw it out.
Yeah, sometimes we don't get the numbers right.
So TVC is being the hub where if you have not heard it on TVC, there will be reference. If you hear a story, please try and confirm from TVC. Exactly.
Fantastic.
So that's the idea.
That's amazing.
One concern, one criticism we've always said is that TV stations no longer do balanced news. So you watch certain shows and people will say, I know they are this way, they are that way. Are we going to be getting a different film? Every side of the story with this new...
even the NBC is the one that regulates television and broadcasting in Nigeria. They have part of the code is for you to be balanced. Everything you're doing to be balanced. So we have that. All our reporters and all our anchors have gone through reorientation and training to say, okay, we must act by the codes that govern or regulate broadcasting in Nigeria. So if you are talking, especially when there's a dispute or when there are perspectives to any issue, it is normal to even get this side and get the other side.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is being part of
the
our...
African thing.
It's the African thing. You know, it's even the human thing.
Yeah.
You know, so we are instilling that in the approach to news, in the approach to our documentaries, in the approach to all the programs that we have, so that when somebody sits down to watch any of our programs, you hear all the sides, whether it is the debate of political parties or debate between men and women or debate, you know, all of these things.
Okay.
We want to see how we can hear from all sides so that a man gets his own perspective, a woman gets her own perspective, every political party gets its own perspective, or even businesses, as the case may be.
Mr. Mike, my question is, when are we taking these 4 ladies to your set?
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah, I think the way I feel on your set, we need to welcome you on our set.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think we have to plan that so we can have you guys on and then talk about what you do on our set.
Balance.
Oh, yeah.
Before we run off, I wanted to ask about the changes in the programming, you know, the change of content.
Yes.
So I know that already TVC News has some flagship successful programs that cut across, and I've been to, I went recently, January this year, I traveled to Anambra, and I was in, I can't remember the name of the locality I was, and someone was asking me about, oh, you are from Your View. I watch your show. I also watch Journalist Hangouts. I also like the breakfast show. That lady, and I was really, really impressed because it's good when you're in Lagos, but when you go as far and to the east, to the north, and you realize that people watch and believe in your content, good work. What new content should people look out for? What's something new that you guys are doing now?
What we want to do with programming has to do with content that touch every life in Nigeria and every aspect of our endeavor. We are crafting programs in business, we're crafting programs in arts, we're crafting programs in entertainment, we're crafting programs more also in politics, as the case may be. If you watch Journalist Hangout, like it has been replicated even in the UK, where there's Journalist Hangout UK and all of that. So also, besides that, we're also partnering with other international reputable media stations. We have a partnership with the BBC and all of that. You'll be seeing documentaries of all kinds of things.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Really, really happy.
Quickly, Mr. Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, talking about your logo, I think the present logo is pink and blue. Am I right? Yeah. So I feel that there's no consistency when it comes to color and logo. What prompted you guys in the new logo today, knowing that TVC is to be red and white? Yes,
the point there is we've transited from one level to the other when it comes to logo, color, and all of those things. Yeah. Now, the issue there is we are moving things to other levels where the appetite of people when it comes to branding, when it comes to making it international. You know, the green
there was a lot of research.
The green and whatever we had before, the idea was because it's Nigeria. But we're trying to move it to another level where it is Nigerian, yes, but we want to give it that international. Exactly. So we're giving it that international look where someone in the UK will watch TVC and we're like, wow, that's an international station. So someone from Brazil and all of that. So it appeals to everybody.
So Andrew is saying the new TVC studio is like the inside of a spacecraft. The air in the place is rarefied. The water served in it is sparkling water.
Okay, now.
Honestly, I fell in love with the new look.
Has he drank the water served?
This is I'm saying, I just want to believe that the new slogan is just to tell Nigerians that the TVC will be the first to break news because of their wider reach and the fact that the staff are now ubiquitous in all nooks and crannies of the country. More power to the team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us. You've been a very good representative of the entire TVC News.
Thank you very much. And you guys, you ladies are doing wonderful as well. I was in Enugu sometime and people, I like your view, you know, and it's beautiful. Thank you, and keep it up as well. Thank you so much.
So, moving on swiftly, next we discuss 2 years jail term for wife beaters in Edo State. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back to the show. Thanks for staying with us. Recently, the governor of Edo State, my state by marriage, signed the Violence Against Persons into law, which means that wife beaters in the state now get 2 years in jail He further stated that signing the bill was not merely a formality, but it will be implemented. What are your thoughts on this? Join the conversation by calling us on 070-8066-8014. And as usual, tweet to us at TVC Connect, #YourViewTVC. So, Nima, that's your state. Mariam and I, our state by marriage.
My mom
okay, so
Delta
everybody
State,
here
so
now is affiliated to Edo State because they've done something laudable.
It's laudable, but it's not enough.
Let's first break down what they've done.
No, I'm going to go there. So the governor of the state has signed this bill into law, and so now it's a 2-year term for a person found guilty of domestic violence or violence against women generally. And this is very laudable because just recently, it's almost like a trend, stripping women, putting pepper in private parts. There's almost like this culture against women in the state to kind of use the agenda against them in punishment, in the way they are perceived. So I had a case I reported on the group about this young lady who was supposed to have sex with a man and she turned him down, and then she was accused of stealing a phone and stripped in public, abused and, you know, assaulted and battered in public by a group of men, and it was normal, as in nobody in the crowd. Somebody made a video, somebody pushed her down, somebody put the pepper in. Nobody in that crowd, in the full crowd, thought it was wrong enough to stop in that state. So this at least should, you know, bring sanity back. So
let me just quickly chip in the fact that this law has been in the making. It's been in their assembly for 6 to 8 years. 8 years. So they've been processing it, and I'm happy that now that it's signed, such cases like what happened, everybody culpable in that situation
we are calling out the governor to do more. So there are more reports of such cases in Edo State, and we are calling out on the Commissioner of Police and the governor to do more, investigate this, and bring people to book. But let Kike go there.
Yeah, I want to commend the Edo State governor on this, and I'm hoping that other states will adopt the law, because I think in Lagos, I was told by Tokwe this morning that there are lots of laws shielding or helping women, protecting women
Lagos
from such. Yeah, do you understand? But in other states, I don't think such laws are in place. Now, going back to the main issue, do you understand? I feel strongly that when God created men, they gave men 9 ribs and gave women 6 ribs. I don't understand why a man will want to, will want to use your own physical strength to beat a woman. I understand that a lot of this is happening, do you understand, especially in Lagos and other states. But you know, let's just use this opportunity to commend the Edo State governor who have taken the step to take this further to protect women, not just publicly but privately.
So well done as well to Edo State government, and also that you know, Lagos is leading the way. And for me, this is even more important because just this morning I was on Facebook and I saw a video of this Muslim cleric in the mosque. And he was preaching about getting married and spending so much money on a wedding just to get someone that you end up just sleeping with. After all, who is this person? All this money you spent, is it not just to get the person that you end up sleeping with? So, you know, that sort of narrative, that sort of, you hear it in churches, in mosques, you know, where it puts the woman down and makes and describes her as if she's nothing.
Seen as a human being.
Yes. So thank God there are laws now, but also we need to start changing the mindset. The woman is a lot more than just someone you sleep with. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a helpmate, she's a partner, she's so many, many things, and we should teach our children that so that they learn to love and respect them.
I'm happy where you took it to, because another thing that I feel really happy about, though they didn't, none of the reports I read broke down how they want to implement this not mere formality statement, is that we used to have jingles when we were growing up. You know, when they were busting pipeline, no bamboo show, no break pipeline. These songs, you know, when it was about getting immunization, there were songs, there were jingles everywhere. can we, beyond just making these laws, have jingles in our native dialect that would educate people on women are special, women are nurturing and taking care of the society. They are the building blocks of our society. Let's nurture, let's take care of them. These jingles breaking down that if you beat your wife now 2 years old, so that we take it home.
Resonates with
as
people.
Opposed to just making a law that is punitive, we also have a side of the law that is preventive.
I said earlier that, it's laudable, but yet not enough. And I wanted to say why. You see, when you live in a society where, of course, it's patriarchal, and men, of course, are above women.
I'm going to cut you. Sorry, please, because we've lost the call already. Let's take this. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Kemi, or is it Kelvin?
Kelvin.
Kelvin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. First time caller.
Wow. Good to have you.
Yes. I want to contribute to the topic this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
This law, I think the problem is if it will be implemented.
Yeah, that's the fear.
Oh, Kelvin, I'm so sorry.
So I was saying that, the society already, the way it's structured, does not favor a woman. And then you now have the woman who will be shamed into reporting this abuse. Do you want your husband to be jailed? Is that the father of your children, they should jail him? Now what for you? You don't know how to forgive, those kind of things. So as opposed to that, we should have shaming the men. Normally, this kind of men who could carry out publicly those kind of things, they should be put out there, shamed and disgraced, so that they feel,
But just before that, Kelvin was saying something about implementation. Yeah. Just maybe so that Kelvin will know. The Edo State governor says that this is not just a passing of bill, that he is going to make sure that this is implemented. Yeah. So maybe
yes, talking about the same implementation, I think in Nigeria today, we will be fooling ourselves when we talk about implementation. What do I mean by that? There are loads of laws that have been on the table, and we realize that it is who knows who. Do you understand? So I want to assume that I'm a male. Do you understand? And I know people. I have contact. When people have offenses and all of that, you find out that those things are being swept under the carpet because of the people you know, and you realize that the people who have committed the offense will not face justice.
We'll talk more about that. Let's take this phone call from Okuk, all the way from Kwara State. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm first time caller.
Welcome.
I'm Okuk from Kwara State.
Already clapped.
Yeah, I must tell you the truth. I am very happy for Edo State governor implementing a law like this. I think it is very good. It's a very good improvement. And I wish and I believe other state governors should queue up and make sure that they do the same. Because when you look at women, they must be respected in the public. They must be respected privately, because they have a lot of duties, both at home, in everywhere. Anywhere you can go to, the thing women are doing at home, in fact, without a woman, you cannot survive. So I believe other governors should just make sure that they implement this law, so that at the end of the day, women generally will be protected. Amen. Thank you, and have a nice day. God bless you.
Have a wonderful day too. So we're hoping to see this in Kwara State too, and see it across other states. But there's something we've been talking about implementation quickly, because we have the challenge of people reporting. You mentioned that the known names would get escape.
But because also, of the contact you have.
Yes, but also we have the stigma. The stigma that Nima mentioned, which is where family members will be like, you are the one sending your husband to prison. Yeah. But we don't realize that the husband might kill you.
I think it's not just about family people. We as women make excuses for these men. Let's be realistic. Many a time that a man will raise his hand to eat you, you make excuses for him that maybe he will not do it tomorrow, maybe he will not do this, or maybe sometimes you find out that because you've been divorced before, do you understand? You've been divorced before, you don't want the world, if anything happens to the marriage, you don't want the world to crucify the woman, because there's a lot of pressure on women. Do you understand? We believe that women should be the one to embrace it. If anything goes wrong in any relationship, the men are to be blamed for again, and women are women's worst enemy. The women that are being beaten, do you understand? You realize that sometimes it's not necessarily about what is happening in the four corners of your home. Maybe you are placing the cup on the table. It could be related to maybe women outside. It could be related to, do you understand? From there, or it could be related to maybe a man not losing his job because livelihood too puts pressure on men. Do you understand? So there are a lot. There are all lots happening to women today that sometimes I think we women should come out. And if we are talking about the world is evolving, the world is this, do you understand? It's time for us as women to take it upon ourselves and also give our other friends or sisters the support they need so that they will be able to come out and, you know,
on that note,
and speak up.
Really, on that note, we end this segment because the truth is, Kike has nailed it. Please, women, support other women. Please, men, women, for no reason should be on the receiving end of your frustration for whatever reason, you know. We'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we'll continue the conversation.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
The conversation continues, both live and when we were on break, because this is something really, really that affects all of us, whether directly or indirectly. Everybody watching knows someone that is being abused in their marriage, and so we cannot hide like it's not an issue that is a reality of our society. Mariam was going to say something.
Yes, because when Nima started, she had said this is laudable but not enough. And when you talked about the lady that was assaulted, you know, so in that case, I do not think that would fall under just wife beating. I hope that those people get more than 2 years jail term.
It's women beating. The law says beating women, not wife.
Yes. So my own is those people, that girl that was assaulted and battered in public, I hope those people get more than the 2 years, you know, for what they did. But then secondly, there's also this other side, which is we have stories of women actually beating their husbands. So in those cases, what do we do? Do those same women get 2 years jail term for beating their husbands?
Outright beating.
And then, so how do you then also separate defending yourself and actually beating somebody?
That's the argument.
Before you go, because you see this defending yourself. There was a case in Ikorodu where a teacher was in Nikeke Napep, and she was carrying a dead husband, and she was crying that I didn't want to kill him.
Yes,
he's always beating me.
I saw the video.
And so I just wanted to scare him. And I stabbed him, and now he's dead. And the lady was taken to court, and her baby left alone. We didn't hear the end of that story because it's still in court. But the point is, it was self-defense. So how do we draw this line? The lawmakers need to do more when it comes to making these laws.
Which is why it's important to stem, this is a preventive measure, to stem it when it's starting. That lady had a history, a very strong history of domestic violence against her person by her husband. It lasted for years, unabated. And even she didn't listen to advice to step out of the situation, because people find it difficult when you say divorce, step out. They think, you know, this person just wants to break your home. Sometimes when it's terrible, you step out till that person gains his sanity back.
Or sometimes separate.
Separate, that's what I mean.
Just step out of the house.
Step out of the house, step out with your children, step out of the marriage for a time till sanity comes back. It's important. But then, I wanted to go at Kike when, you know, she touched the woman's side of it. Everything, she touched all angles. But we women will always shy away from when we are the ones provoking. So you throw your hand and slap your husband, and you question his reaction. That's another side people don't look at. I saw that Instagram post that, you know, I just don't believe it when women hit men and are questioning why they're being hit. It struck a chord in me. Some women are the first to slap. Maybe because we have watched a Igbo film now, we're Africans. You slap your Nigerian man, the reaction is to slap you back.
No, but what we see when we're growing up, we now want them to be locking. Women will lock the man's shirt and hold his shirt. We see it in movies. But in those cases, that is a provocation.
That is
what is the reaction that woman is expecting? I don't know. I'm wondering, because I think that we must address this part too.
They say two wrongs don't make a right.
Yes.
Correct. Good. So, and then also we have this assumption that the man is physically stronger than the woman.
Yes.
And where a woman slap might just leave an imprint, a man slap might likely
break the
throw
end.
your teeth out of your mouth.
Let's take this call from Abdul. Welcome to the show. Please. Oh, no. We can't do this. When you call, don't watch the show, just listen.
So I wanted to...
Okay, so let me just finish where I was going. So for me is, whoever is violent is wrong. So if you find yourself being violated, hit, take yourself out and do not be the aggressor, both male and female. Take yourself out. Because I want to bring, you know, I think about this all the time because I think about this all the time, especially bringing up a daughter and a son. Yeah.
As equal.
Yes, sometimes she goes at him and she hits him for no reason. And you know, he asks me like, so what am I supposed to do? Because he's really upset.
So you're teaching him to control himself. But then you need to teach her not to provoke. Yes. So women, we usually will shout, what in Yahweh. We don't talk about women who would, whether in public or anywhere, assault their husbands. Yeah. And then we're debating the reaction.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, Miriam, concerning sometimes women provoke the men. So as at today's day, we all know, we 4 ladies on this table know that the only strength and power women have is their mouth, is their tongue. Do you understand? So I want to assume, do you understand? I want to assume that a man is called, there are arguments going on with the man and the woman. Do you understand? A man who is physically stronger than you, do you understand? First of all, I've engaged in verbal violence. The only way a woman can come at you is through her tongue. So sometimes when you use that tongue back to fight the men, they cannot take it. So at the end of the day, you find out that they come at the woman now, not only verbal and physical abuse. So what we are preaching today is the fact that there is verbal violence and physical violence. Sometimes those words should not be allowed. Those words can send you to grave because sometimes it affects women's self-esteem.
So let's put things in perspective. A verbal assault is not the reaction we're talking about. A woman who is just like you slapping your girlfriend.
Yes.
And your girlfriend slaps you back. We'll have a debate about it. But if you slap your husband, he slaps you back, we'll have a debate. So what I'm saying is control your hands and everything. But men should learn to deal with verbal abuse because, you know, that is not...
Sorry, I'm not going to side you on that.
That's not as
I'm going to say that
we have to fight
both men and women, both verbal and physical assault should not be carried out. Can we live in love and caring for one another? Both, and I'm saying this across, men should not physically assault women. Women should not verbally assault men. And can we just...
On a lighter note, I cannot be doing taekwondo and not talk about the benefits of self-defense. So that when they come at you, you can defend yourself.
And if you find yourself finally in a situation where you are being beaten at the risk of losing your life, please
report it.
Remove yourself.
Not only report it, you leave.
Remove yourself.
And face the consequences of the world.
Yes, remove yourself. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a fabulous week. Have a fantastic and restful weekend. See you all next week.
Vote.
Yeah, vote.